live. There we go. What's going on, everyone? Thank you all so much for tuning in at this time. Everybody that's here, I greatly appreciate it. Anybody watch this on the replay, thank you so much. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Great win, right? No LeBron on the fourth game, third in the last 10 days or something like that, to come out with the urgency to really control this game pretty much start to finish. I would have liked when we were up 20, kind of keep it in range, but you knew the Kings were going to throw that punch. Lakers kind of took their foot off the gas a little bit. They never they were always within a good distance. So I wasn't ever worried about them winning, but you would like to see them, kind of, you threw that haymaker, keep the pressure. But nonetheless, right, really good all-around game. Austin Reaves was fantastic. I love how aggressive he was. I loved how he was finding and feeding other people. Guys were hitting shots. He had, 16, 17 assists? How many assists did he have? I know he had a bunch tonight. He had 16 assists. So was aggressive, finding guys, kicking out to the open man, knocking down shots. Anthony Davis was absolutely dominant, right? Max Christie continues to grow, continues to develop, continues to impress. Every game you see Max Christie, it's like he's getting better and better and better and better. Very confident out there. You can see the confidence defensively as well as knocking down the shots. He was, I believe, 3 of 5 this game from 3. Yeah, 3 of 5 and 5 of 8 total from the floor with 16 points. Dalton Connect even had a very good game. He shot 40% from 3, as well as 6 of 10 from the floor with 18 points. I like that Dalton Connect is evolving a bit, right? I made a video on AS, the Lakers show, and I talked about how he's figuring it out, right? Shots not falling. Don't just settle. Don't just take 10 threes, right? Put the ball on the deck. Be that backdoor cutter. Beat guys off the dribble. Switch to the mismatch. Take the smaller man. Like you saw him take Fox and Monk and, several guys off the dribble. And he's got the size, the strength, the athleticism. He's not just a spot up 3-point shooter. Obviously, he can knock it down. Obviously, that's great to see that, he especially with confidence. But I like that he's expanding his game, right? I like that he's doing more out there besides just, sitting in the corner waiting for the basketball. He's being aggressive, attacking closeouts, right? Guys sleep on him. Boom. He's quick. He's using that athleticism to get right into the basket. Easy cut pass, right? I love it. I love seeing that. But again, just a really good all-around effort from everybody. I really like that, LeBron was dealing with an illness. He's getting some rest, which we really need. Ooh, whoops. Sorry. Unplugged that. Getting some rest that we really need. Just, again, Lakers are a good team, right? I said it all season. They're a good team. Still need trades, right? They're not elite, right? Do they have a punch chance? Sure. When guys are playing, hitting shots, when we're taking care of the basketball and we're playing the right way, Lakers are tough to beat, right? We had, 42 rebounds, 33 assists. Talk about it all the time. Whenever the Lakers have more than 30 assists, they win. Turnovers, they had 11 turnovers, right? Obviously, you always want to try to keep it under 10, but, they're in that range. Beautiful. Perfect. I love it. Austin Reaves led the team with 5 turnovers, but 16 assists, right? So that is great. I'll live with those 5 turnovers when you're putting up that level of assist totals. Also dished out 6 rebounds, 26 points, 3 of 4 from 3, shooting, knocking down with confidence. And I've talked about when his shot is falling, it expands and opens his game so much. So I really like that. Rui Hachimura was aggressive, hitting shots. 3-point shot was falling. He had 21 points, 4 rebounds. Now Anthony Davis, 36, 8 assists, 15 rebounds. I've talked about, I love more than anything the versatile games. I've even talked about, I would prefer a 23, 15, and 8 game as opposed to 40, 15 and 1, right? Because the Lakers are just more dynamic. That means other guys are getting involved. Other guys are hitting shots, right? The Lakers are just overall better. But in this game, he was able to get you 36, 15, and 8. So MVP level numbers. I love to see that, the dominance, especially against Sabonis. Just a nice all-around effort. Max Christie, 5 of 8, as I mentioned, 3 of 5 from three-point range, 3 of 3 from the foul line, being aggressive, a rebound, 2 assists, 2 steals, a block, 16 points. He did have 5 fouls, but I've even talked about, I would prefer that. I'd rather see everybody have 5 personal fouls than us just playing lackluster defense. I don't like that we gave up, 122 points or whatever, right? Like, I prefer not to do that. But I like the aggression. I like the physicality. I like getting after it. Right? Max Christie, I was really doing some things out there. Gabe Vincent, he had an oblique. He was out with an oblique strain, I believe is what it was. He got like elbowed in the ribs and stomach, which, obviously you don't want that. We don't want another injury. I'm already saying, like, does that mean the trade happened type thing? No, probably not. I mean, you never know, but the end of the day, right? Like, it's just guys get hurt. Hopefully it's nothing serious. Hopefully he's back for the next game because, we can't be losing more bodies. And our next game is against, the Cavs, right? If I'm not mistaken, on the Christmas Eve, right? We got 3 days off and then it's the Cavs. Yeah, we play the Cavs on New Year's Eve. So, got to make sure we handle business there. You're at home playing against the best team in the NBA. They just smacked Denver the other day. They beat Denver by like 30. Lakers got to show up, got to handle business. But anyway, real quick, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. And let's get into all the super chats, all the regular chats, and all of that stuff. Stakes, starting us off, $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Reaves is very crafty with the change of pace. Yes, especially when he can draw contact. I've talked about it. When his shot is falling, which his shot was falling in this game, right? He was 3 of 4 from three-point range. And he's being aggressive and he's attacking closeouts. And teams really have to challenge and respect his shot. It opens the door for him, right? It's when he's, 1 of 7, teams start sagging off because they know that he wants to try to get into the paint, wants to try to get into the defense. So he started off the game with a 3, right? So now they're like, we got to challenge that. And then hit another one. And then all of a sudden they're trying to close out strong on him because he is a guy that can go knock down 6-7 threes. And what does he do? Attacks the closeouts, gets into the teeth of the defense, rises up, get into the mid-range, get into the foul line, right? He had 8 free throws, right? When he is able to be aggressive through the start of his shooting, it makes him just so much better of a player, makes things so much easier for him, rather than when you see, I say it all the time, go watch games and go watch the games where he's shooting, 1 of 7 from 3, and then watch the games where he's like 3 of 4 from 3. It's 2 different paths in a lot of ways, most nights, right? Because again, he's able to be aggressive. He's able to find his spots. He's able to knock down shots and do what he likes to do with, like you said, change of pace, get into the teeth of defense, get into that mid-range area, and then create the contact, get to the foul line, things like that. But thank you. Thank you so much for the super chat. All right, let's get into the regular chat. Tell some more come in. 18 and 13. You got to love it. Got to love it. Now we got the Cavs coming up. New Year's Eve, right? We need to start the new year. I'd love to get the W and then have the countdown, right? Celebrate the new year with a win. Games at 6, right? Couple hours later, get a win. The last game of the year. That would be beautiful. Honestly, Max Christie might be the most legit defender here. Cam Reddish has his moments, but Max Christie's discipline and contesting style of perimeter defense makes him better. I have said in the past, even last year, I talked about he might be our best perimeter defender. Cam Reddish, because of his size, his length, and athleticism, can be disruptive and can make things difficult against certain teams. But Max Christie, he just has the instincts. I talked about it even as a rookie, right? His instincts defensively just are things that just can't be taught, right? He is outside of Jared Vanderbilt, obviously. Jared Vanderbilt's our best perimeter defender, but I'm talking about he's been out the last 2 years. Max Christie is just really good at just reading and shifting and moving his body. Like Cam Reddish will be out of position a lot. Early on, Max Christie would be out of position at times, but he's starting to figure things out. So like I've talked about, he's a guy that's really, you're seeing the evolution. It's why early on when he was struggling, I came on here and said, we got to be patient with him. Let him figure it out. He never got the figure it out year, right? He never got that. Darvin Ham would play him one game and then wouldn't play him for 10, right? It's just like, you gotta let these young guys, I mean, he's younger than our draft pick this year. Dalton Connect by like 3 years, right? Like, you got to let the young guys figure it out. JJ Redick, he sat him for 3 games or whatever it was, but then inserted him back in. And since then he's been great. And I like that he stuck with him. And then same thing with Dalton Connect. I've even said, you got to stick with him. I haven't really been critical of Dalton Connect because he's a rookie. I understand the circumstances, right? But now what is he doing? Now he's starting to figure some stuff out. He's being aggressive. He's attacking closeouts. He's being an off-ball cutter. He's using that size and athleticism to his advantage. He's doing more than just standing there waiting for a 3 all game. I love it. I love to see it. Max Christie is not only a great defender, but extremely disciplined. Yes, he's getting there for sure. Like I said, he's getting better and better, more and more comfortable, more and more. Just he's figuring it out. AD for MVP. Let's get it. I'm with it. Who needs a trade? We won without LeBron. we definitely still need a trade speed. But like I've said, this team has the capability of winning without LeBron. Actually had a winner without LeBron because you have guys in Reaves, D'Lo usually. I mean, he wasn't great this game. What do you have this game? He was 4 of 10. Yeah, 1 of 4. 4 assists, 2 rebounds. But even last year, a lot of times D'Lo would be out, or sorry, LeBron would be out. D'Lo would be big. Austin Reaves this year, he's been big. You've kind of seen the growth in these guys. JB coming out the fellowship chat. Thank you so much. I seriously appreciate that. Austin Reaves might be him, dog. Outplayed Fox the whole game except the 4th, younger 2, and with a broken finger. Boy, white mama. Yeah, look, Austin Reaves, when he's able to be aggressive, his shot is falling, which is something that I've talked about, right? When his shot is falling, he's a different player, right? 1, he's just more confident. 2, he's able to do what he likes to do out there on the basketball court. I don't know if you were here earlier, JB, but I was talking about Austin Reaves. Somebody was brought him up, right? You see, like, if you watch games where he's struggling to shoot the basketball, it changes the game because teams will start to sag off of him and then figure like, hey, we'll make the adjustment if we have to make the adjustment, right? But when his shot is falling, now teams have to close out so he can attack the closeout, get into the teeth of the defense, being aggressive, looking for his shots. I've always said, like, Austin Reaves is a very good player. He's just, my concern is the consistency, right? He's had 2 straight games now where he's been great, right? I mean, everything we could ask for and more. It's like, man, if we could get this Austin Reaves on a nightly basis, watch out. And I'm not even saying he has to go give you 26 and 16, right? But just like being aggressive, finding his spots, getting his shot, obviously knock down a couple threes here and there. If we can get that consistency from him, it changes this entire team, right? But it's been staggering at times, right? He'll have, like, for example, what was it 3 games ago? Who was it against? Why am I blanking on who it is? But anyway, he had like 7 turnovers and was just terrible. Well, now he's had these 2 games. What does he do against Cleveland? Can he, like, and again, I'm not talking about him giving you a 26-16, but it's just, can he continue to apply pressure to these opposing teams? You saw that not last year, but 2 seasons ago, right? When he had his emergence. And then in the playoffs, he was aggressive. He was hunting, right? He was putting pressure on the defense. That's the best version of Austin Reaves, and that's the best version of the Lakers currently, unless we pull off some crazy trades. But the best version of the Lakers is when Austin Reaves is being that dog, right? When Austin Reaves is being him and hunting guys. Bad games happen. Not like, it's fine if he has a bad game here and there, but it's just, can he keep applying the pressure? If he can, then yes, the guy is a really good role player. I still don't believe that he's your 3rd best guy on a championship team, but as like your 4th guy, I think you're an elite team. I think you're up there in the upper echelons, right? I think Austin Reaves is a very good player who is a role player, but when he is the guy, when he is him, right? That is the best version of the Lakers currently. So I love seeing these last two games hit, Austin Reaves being him, being aggressive, finding his spots, hitting game winners, right? He's confident right now. He's playing with this level of confidence. Can he maintain that? If he can, the Lakers are going to be in really good shape, really good shape. But back to the chat. Thank you again. I appreciate you. Where was I? Here we go. Bring out the brooms. Also, shout out Dalton. He really needed a game like this. Yes. I talked about it because he really started this last like 2 games, but more so last game was really aggressive and not settling from 3. I think he was like 1 of 4 from 3 in that game, or 1 of 5 from 3, but he still had, I think, what was it, like 16 points, something like that? I'm trying to go off the top of my head, but it was through him just being aggressive, getting backdoor cuts, using his athleticism and size to beat guys off the dribble, switching on the smaller guys, right? You saw it a lot more this game. He was 2 of 5 from 3, so he shot 40% from 3, but he was being aggressive, right? He was not just settling for threes, which is something that I really do like to see. Really do like to see that from him. We could definitely win the championship with the right trades. I agree. Like I said, I think we need either like a higher tier guy and then like a mid tier guy and then like maybe a low tier guy, or we need like 3 mid tier guys. Dorian Finney-Smith looks like he might be going to Memphis, although that hasn't gotten done yet. That hasn't finalized yet. So, nothing's official until it's official, but it looks like he might go there, which hurts. And I've talked about this recently in particular. Lakers, all the wings right now, especially with Jimmy Butler out, you have all these teams that are pushing hard for Cam Johnson, Kyle Kuzma, right? Dorian Finney-Smith, these guys. I think the Lakers should really focus at the guard position and the center position right now. I've even talked about, do you just go get a Nikola Vucevic at this point? And then kind of figure it out from there. See if maybe you go get, a Bruce Brown or a Malcolm Brogdon or something like that. But Lakers, if they can keep winning and can keep pace, then it buys Rob Pelinka. I don't know why I blanked on that. It buys Rob Pelinka time to now find the right trades, find the right moves, and make the right plays. So when do you think a trade will happen, and what will it most likely be? At this point, I think it'll either be a center or a guard. If I had to guess, I'd probably say a center. I think the Lakers will probably get, whether it's a Valanciunas or a Vucevic or something like that, Dorian or Day'Ron Sharpe. I think it'll probably be a center. But when will that happen? I don't know. Until prices start dropping here right now, I don't think it'll happen anytime soon. My concern is if the rumors about Dorian Finney-Smith are true, that could hurt the Lakers, because supposedly they're giving up Conchar, Luke Kennard, and a future first round pick. Dorian Finney-Smith isn't worth a first. He's just not, right? Couple seconds, sure. They were giving up 3 seconds, sure. That's his price. Dallas was trying to get a first for a couple years for him. The Nets have been trying to get a first the last few years. If Memphis overpays essentially for Dorian Finney-Smith, that might be a problem, because now everyone else might go, okay, well maybe we are too low right now, or the prices won't fluctuate that much. I really like, if I remove my Laker bias for a moment, Dorian Finney-Smith on Memphis is excellent. Right? Which is why they're going after him. If they get Dorian Finney-Smith, that's a huge pickup for them. Huge pickup for them. Because the problem is right now, they're like running like Marcus Smart and guys like that at like the 3, so they're kind of small at the 3. Dorian Finney-Smith gives them that size, and then they go with Edey. So like they can go Ja Baines, Dorian Finney-Smith, Zach Edey, and Triple J as their 5. If they want to go small, they could go small and have like a Dorian Finney-Smith at the 4 at times with a Smart. They go big. It would give them a ton of versatility. for Memphis. He's like ideal, but my concern is that they're about to overpay for him. And if they do, that could be a problem for not just the Lakers, but like other teams, but especially the Lakers. Because the Lakers need something. Let's see. Last year we got swept by them. This year we swept them. Love to see it. Yes, agreed 100%. Shout out to Austin for 16 assists, who can't be a point guard. Look, Austin Reaves 16 assists is fantastic. I still don't like him as your point guard, right? Like, again, a lot of it was just easy backdoor cuts or kicking it out to the open man. Him running offense, I still have my hesitations. We saw, right, with Detroit, big physical, athletic team really pressuring him, and that's who he lost the game for, was Detroit, right? Like, they don't, like, Sacramento, like, who's really pressuring Reaves, right? Like, that's why. Like, Sacramento's terrible defensively, right? My concern is once they get to the playoffs, during the regular season, I think you're fine for Austin as your point guard for most nights. But my concern is once you get to the playoffs and you start playing these teams, right? Say you play the Thunder. They're going to have Alex Caruso. They're going to have Lou Dort, right? SGA. They're just going to pressure him constantly, picking him up 94 feet game after game after game. That's where my concern lies. Credit Austin Reaves. He was fantastic this game. I love what we saw from him. I love the 16 assists. He had 5 turnovers, but I'll live with those turnovers given the type of game that he had with 16 assists in particular. But I still don't like him as your main point guard. I've always said him as your secondary playmaker is fine. He's a 2 guard. And this game is a perfect example of why he is best at the 2 guard. It's why I've always said you need to get a legit point guard alongside Austin Reaves, right? A Bruce Brown, Malcolm Brogdon, somebody with size that can be defense, point of attack, things like that, alongside Austin Reaves, where Austin Reaves now can be your secondary playmaker, but more than anything, he can continue to be aggressive. You see at times, not this game, because LeBron was out, but you see a lot of times he'll get kind of indecisive, or he'll get tunnel vision, or he'll just like, I haven't made a play, and he like overthinks it at times, right? Which is why him as your 2 guard, which is what he was when we went to the conference finals, that's where he's best, because now he doesn't have to think about it. Now it's like, hey, go get buckets. Don't worry about making plays. Obviously, if you can find the cutter, you can get the kick out man, double team comes, and you can kick it out. But be aggressive. Be aggressive, right? That's what we need Austin Reaves to be. Austin Reaves needs to be aggressive. Arthur, coming out the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. D Fox played like he got a coach fired. It was obvious he was troubled in the first 3 quarters. I saw this when LeBron got David Blatt fired. Yeah, look, I'm sure everything that's going on is in his head. I'm sure he's racking his brain around just the situation, period. They've lost 7 straight or something crazy like that. It's been they have been terrible. Let me pull that up real quick. They've lost a lot recently. They've lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight. 6 straight games. They're drowning right now. Just got your coach fired. All the trade rumors and trade talk and stuff like that. If you're Fox, the last thing on his mind is probably the game. But he did pick it up in the fourth quarter, which is what he does best, right? Like, he is, every year he's one of not the best fourth quarter guys in the league. He ended up finishing with 29 and 12, 5 rebounds, 4 steals, a block. Was 3-point range was 1 of 9, struggled from 3, but was 50% overall from the field, 48%, 12 to 25. He's really good. He is really good. Look, if the Lakers can get him, I think the Lakers should get him. I don't think that that's realistic. I don't. The only way I see him going to Lakers is if the Lakers, or if he basically forces his way, pulls an Anthony Davis. Outside of that, I think Spurs, Houston, teams like that, probably the most likely. in my opinion. But yes, Fox is they're in a tough spot right now. I'm really it's going to be interesting to see what happens between now and the trade deadline. But appreciate you, Arthur. Thank you. Seriously. Max is developing good. He needs to be KCP like. Yes, I actually think he has the potential to be more versatile than KCP just because he's more athletic, right? He's quicker, more athletic. If he could be anything close to KCP, first off, beautiful. Also, you got to keep in mind, KCP wasn't like the KCP we know today, with the Lakers, with Denver, right? He wasn't that when the Lakers first got him. Coming from Detroit, there were questions of like, how much longer is he going to be in the league? And then you saw him really start to develop and really blossom and thrive once he got LeBron and AD just being that kind of 3-and-D guy and settled into a role. And then just became like the main, the main guy in that role. Like Danny Green was that for years. KCP's been that. Him and Alex Caruso, guys like that. Yeah, Max Christie can be anything close to that. That would be fantastic. Fantastic. Fifth seed, just need more defense, and Wood and Vandor coming back. We are a scary team. Still think we need a trade, but yes, it would be nice if we start getting guys back. Kind of see and evaluate what this team looks like. AR 2K game sliders went up ever since trade rumors have been floating around. Yeah. Was a D'Lo trade. Now you got D'Lo, trade deadline D'Lo, and now you got trade deadline Reaves. I'm not trading Reaves for Fox, not going to lie. You still trade Reaves. Fox is still the better player. I like Austin Reaves a lot. This was a great game. Talked about it. He's not De'Aaron Fox. Defensively and offensively, De'Aaron Fox is one of the best fourth quarter players in the game. You just witnessed it, right? Just put pressure on it. He was having a bad game, and then the fourth quarter came, and he was doing everything he can. Again, I like Austin Reaves a lot, but if that's the difference between you getting De'Aaron Fox or not, you go get De'Aaron Fox. You really do. It's a no-brainer. Let's see. And De'Aaron Fox is just more consistent. My boy Tyler, what's going on? What's going on, Lakers Nation? Appreciate you being here. Let's see. I didn't even see the starting lineup, so I didn't see LeBron playing until I looked up. He was out with illness. Yes, they went with Gabe Vincent, Austin Reaves, Max Christie, Rui Hachimura, and Anthony Davis, and yeah, worked out. Another lucky win by the Lakers. I don't think this was lucky. I mean, Lakers controlled this game start to finish and dominated. Look, Sacramento's bad. They are a sinking ship right now. So I don't think that this is the game where it's like, that's it. Lakers are the best team in the league. Like, I don't think that we should overreact, but you just swept the team. I don't care who it is, right? Like, it could be Portland. You sweep a team, right? Like, so especially when you've played them 3 times in the last 10 days. So this was a good one. This was a very good one. Coswin, come on, Fox, over on this side. It's better over here. Facts, without a doubt. Look, if you have, again, I want to be clear. I do not believe Lakers will get De'Aaron Fox. I'm not saying it's impossible. I've said I'm 90% that he's not. The only reason it's 10% that they might is because he's clutch. And he's exactly what LeBron has been looking for years with Dennis Schroeder and Russell Westbrook, and then Dennis Schroeder again, and then D'Angelo Russell. He would be ideal in that spot. Give you that defense, point of attack, athletic guard. If there's any chance you can get him, you sell whatever you have to give up, you give up to go get De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox and Anthony Davis would be, you're great, right? As your duo, you're basically set. The only guy I would prefer to keep out of everybody would be Max Christie, just because I think he makes a lot of sense alongside Fox. So you go Fox, Christie. I'd try to go get some type of 3-and-D wing if possible, because Fox is only making $35 million this year. So it's probably like D'Lo for expiring contracts, Austin Reaves for that tradable piece. You're probably gonna have to give up Dalton Connect. And then that's the salary there. And then you're looking at probably your 2 firsts plus, pick swap or something like that. somewhere in that range. So if you can still have like your seconds plus, a pick swap or two, you'd still have Rui, Gabe Vincent, things like that. I'd look to see if you can turn those into a 3-and-D wing. And then now you have, like we'll just use Dorian Finney-Smith as an example. Or at that point, I'd even be okay with Kyle Kuzma. Go get Kuz and have like De'Aaron Fox, Max Christie, Kyle Kuzma, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis, and let's go win a championship. But yes. Coming out to Ship Chat. Tell us your thoughts on the Travis Hunter situation. I don't really I'm not really a drama guy. I like to stay out of it. It's not really my thing. Look, he's a grown man. He's going to have to make his decisions. I definitely think it's a shady situation. I don't want to get into it too much. Like, look, that's his personal life. That's his, he loves who he loves. As long as he's happy, then that's what it is. I definitely think it's a shady situation. I think it's a unique situation. There we go. Put it like that. But, again, it's just either two things are going to happen. Either he's right or he's going to learn the hard way, right? There's really two paths. Either he's right and they'll live happily ever after, or he's going to learn a very, very hard lesson. But I'll leave it at that. Like I said, I like to stay out of drama and all the noise and stuff, like he's a grown man, let him make his decisions, but yeah. Let's see. Yeah, they signed their demise 100%. I'll say it here. If we trade D'Lo, we need a playmaker. AR might have gotten 16 assists, but most of those turnovers were needed. AR needs to work on his handling ball pressure. I love AR, but he's not a point guard. I agree. Let's get that 4th seed, 100%. I'm right there with you. DeRozan, look, DeRozan I don't think is garbage, right? Like, I still wouldn't hate him on the Lakers. And here's why. And it's why I was open to him coming in the offseason, right? He looks worse on Sacramento because he's not necessary. You don't need him. He takes away from Monk and Fox. He's essentially neutralized. They already had two guys that were capable of doing what DeMar DeRozan does. The Lakers don't really have that guy, right? Even Austin Reaves, he likes to draw the fouls, get into the defense, kind of apply pressure more towards the rim. Where DeMar is the guy that he can shoot over the top, gets to his spots, operate in the mid-range, right? Like, I think on a team like the Lakers, he makes more sense because the Lakers don't have that guy, right? But when he goes to a team like Sacramento that is usually every year up there as far as pace goes, right? They needed defense. Like, he was the last thing that team needed. It's why in the offseason, I said that was the worst decision that they could have made. I was like, it made no sense. I don't know why they did it. They just ruined their franchise. They literally just ruined their team, and fast forward to now, and look what happened, right? Because it was unnecessary. It was literally the last thing that they needed. But DeMar DeRozan on a team with Anthony Davis, LeBron James, Max Christie, and, Jared Vanderbilt, if healthy, right? You have everything except for that guy in DeMar who can just go get you 18 to 20 a night, right? Lakers need that level of consistency. He's not the thing that I like. Even if he becomes available, he's kind of the last thing that I want. But I do think he would look much better on the Lakers than he would on or Miami. The other team that I said really could have used him was Miami. I still think Miami's probably the best place for him. I just think if he was on a team like Miami that needs what he provides, it would look better. It would make more sense. The team would be overall better. But to go on a team that's the last thing they need, it looks bad because why? Same thing with like when Russell Westbrook was on the Lakers. Yeah, there's games and moments where Russ, LeBron, and AD look great. But overall, it was just a bad fit. It made no sense. It was terrible, right? That's what DeMar is on Sacramento. It looks bad. It has its games and its moments where it looks good, but for the most part, it's a bad fit, bad situation, doesn't make sense. But AR was fantastic. Monster game from AD, but one of a kind from AR. I got to give flowers for him. Yeah, he was fantastic. Look, like I said, I mean, I don't think he's a bad guy. I don't think he's a bad player. He was very good. Fox is far from, I mean, he had what was considered a terrible game, and he still gave you 29 points, 12 assists, 5 rebounds, 4 steals, 1 block with 3 turnovers. Like, this was a bad game from Fox. That's the difference, right? Like, that's what makes Fox good. Let's see. Mavs keep losing and Lakers keep winning. Did the Mavs lose today? Because they won the last game, which sucked. Really needed them to win. Or sorry, lose. But they end up losing because yeah, they did. They lost to Portland. They were winning by pretty decent margin earlier when I was checking that. And I was like, oh, Phoenix lost. Good. Could have used that Denver loss. That would have been nice. We need the Clippers to start losing, man. Clippers need to start. Clippers and Dallas need to go on a slump. But yeah, Fox can tap into that special clutch mode, though. Yeah, 100%. Let's see. We maybe can get the third down the line, but 4 seed is realistic if we keep stacking them dubs. Yeah. Look, I'm not like, as long as you're a top 4 to 5 seed, I'm fine. Right? Like, obviously, look, I'd love to get the 2 seed or whatever, right? Like, without a doubt, I'd love to be the 1 or 2 seed. But like, Lakers would be fine. As long as you're a playoff team, as long as they finish in the top 6, I'm good. I would like the top 4 because then at least you have home court for the first round. So chances are Lakers are probably getting out of at least the first round. But even if they finish with the 5th seed, 4 or 5 matchup, let's say you're playing Dallas. I actually like the Lakers' chances against Dallas. I actually think they match up well. I think that that's a matchup the Lakers can absolutely win. The only teams that I really worry about in the Western Conference is like Denver. I think everyone else is very beatable for the Lakers. I think Houston and Memphis are what they are every year, right? Houston's kind of the new Memphis where, they're really good in the regular season because they're young, athletic, right? But then once you get into the playoffs, you see, like, same thing with the Thunder. Last year, Thunder, 1 seed, get in the playoffs, get in the second round, and they lose, right? Like, it's kind of how I feel about Houston. Houston, I think, is a first, second round exit. Same thing with Sacramento 2 years ago. Every year you see a team like Houston. Not really worried about Houston. Memphis, I still think the Lakers match up excellent and can beat Memphis. Thunder, I think we have the interior advantage. And LeBron James and Anthony Davis, probably the best player on the court every night. SGA definitely has an argument for that, might have something to say about that. But I like the matchup against the Thunder. Same thing with Dallas. Denver, I think, is mostly just mental. I think the Lakers just have the mental issues. But I do. I think, like I've said, I think the Lakers have a puncher's chance. In the same breath, though, I think all the other matchups the other way. I think you can make the same argument the other way. Like, Dallas would be a good, so it's kind of both sides, right? I don't trust the Lakers to beat anybody, but I think that they can beat anybody. How in the world did the Kings get this bad? It's quite amazing. I mean, simple. I mean, you make the wrong decisions, right? You make the wrong decisions. How it goes. That was a game where a lot of guys played well. That's not a normal game. We still need to add pieces in the roster, but good to see 5 players with more than 15 points. Yeah, I mean, look, guys can step up. We've been good without LeBron, even last season. I really do think that this doesn't mean like, oh, Lakers are fine, they don't need a trade. Lakers still need a trade. They still have holes. They still have flaws. Sacramento is, like I said, is in a free fall right now. And I don't think that's changing. DeMar DeRozan. Gone, coming out with another super chat. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. What is the alternative to Dorian Finney-Smith? You could go for you could go for like a Kuz, Jeremy Grant type guy. You could go get like a cheap alternative and go with like a Torrey Craig, a Chris Dort comes to mind. Cody Martin, a guy that just got 6'6", 6'7" in size, can defend, play multiple positions, defend multiple positions, knock down the three ball on some efficiency. The things like that, stuff like that. Yeah. So ideally, the Dorian Finney-Smith thing falls through. I wouldn't count on that. Looks like Memphis is getting ready to overpay, but I do think there is an argument to be made, and I made a video about it the other day, to really pivot, because all the wings that are available are either too costly or everybody's going after Warriors and Thunder and all these other teams, where I think let the other teams fight over those guys and go fill the other needs, right? Like I said, go get a better center, backup center. Go get the best center you can get right now. Go get the best kind of point of attack guard you can get right now, something like that. And I think that you'll be fine. Personally, that's the approach that I would take. But yeah, appreciate you, Con. Where was I? AR career 10 assist games, 11 Zach LaVine, 7. 11 Zach LaVine, 7, and AR has. Are you saying who? AR has 11 or Zach LaVine has 11? I mean, I would believe AR has more games because Zach LaVine has never been there as like the point guard. You got to keep in mind, Austin Reaves is playing point guard. Zach LaVine has always been there to be a scorer, right? Like Austin Reaves probably has more assist games than half the shooting guards in the league. So yeah, I don't know what you're trying to get at there. Is AR a good playmaker? Playmaker? No. Is he a guy that can make plays? Yes. Right? Like he can do the basics. Right? He can run the pick and roll. There's a lot of guys that go get you 5 assists, right? Like, but no one looks at them as great playmakers, right? He's a guy that can make plays, find the open man, run the pick and roll, run the kick out, but actually creating and allowing things to develop and seeing the court in the way that a real true playmaker does. No, he's not a playmaker. He's a guy that can make plays. He's a guy that can go get, 5, 6, 7 assists, right? If guys are hitting shots, he can find, the lob to AD or Dalton Connect with the backdoor cut, boom, easy feed, right? But to have him bring the ball up, get guys in position, seeing something develop over here while this hasn't even started developing yet here, and it's coming over. Like, no, he's not that. Could he get to that point? Sure, right? Like it's always possible, but he's not there yet. I still think the Lakers need a real kind of point guard. But also this style of offense, like the system that JJ Redick runs, you don't need like a tradition, like you don't need Chris Paul. You don't need a traditional playmaker. You just need somebody that can initiate and run the basics, right? Because the whole point is it's this free-flowing offense, lots of motion, lots of action. Guys are, making the hockey assists and hockey passes and stuff like that. I just want somebody that handles ball pressure well. Austin Reaves isn't good at handling ball pressure well. I mean, you had a play earlier where, who was it? Keon Ellis, I think, literally just bodied him and just picked his pocket and ran the other way, right? Like it's things like that are like, doesn't handle that well. Heard Dorian Finney-Smith about to be gone. Yes, it looks like he's going to Memphis. Only issue was giving up second chance points. We can't rebound, especially offensively. Lakers have done a much better job of cleaning that up. But yes, this was not a great game for that. AR might be the best value contract in the league. Victor Wembanyama might have something to say about that. He's making like what, 12 million this year, something like that, 11 million this year. But Austin Reaves is definitely up there. Austin Reaves is one of them for sure. Cavs will be extremely tough. Agreed. Cavs Lakers finals. I would love that. What are we doing for LeBron's birthday? He's flying me out. We're gonna go have a romantic dinner. You need to watch more games, more tape. Teams sag off Reaves all the time. Dalton Connect is the greatest baseline player of all time. He's really good at just kind of reading it. Let's see. Show me. You can't Google yourself. If you don't believe me, look it up. Not my responsibility to educate you. Max Christie's offensive game is like a supercomputer. Every game he plays, he looks smarter. Agreed. Let's see. We got to give credit to Fox and Sabonis too. They were playing for us. Sabonis' 2 last fouls were his way to bail out, and Fox was not hitting a slap to save somebody from choking. Yeah. Well, I mean, in the fourth quarter he was, but yeah. The Fox situation is the same as Donovan Mitchell. Fox will just re-sign with the Kings for no reason or go somewhere. It doesn't matter. I don't think he'll re-sign. If he did qualify for the Supermax, he would re-sign just because he's not going to turn down that money, but he's not going to qualify for the Supermax. So he's gone. Like, I don't know if I think he'll ride out this season, right? Like, I think he'll kind of give them till the trade deadline to try to figure something out or whatever. But once that ends up becoming nothing, because I just don't see a way. I don't see a path for Sacramento to turn it around, even via trade. I just think that he'll be out in the offseason. Let's see. As good as the Cavs are, I still do believe Celtics would beat them in a 7-game series. I think it'd be great. I think it'd be a great series. I mean, you gotta take Boston until otherwise, like until Boston, until somebody actually beats them, you got to give them the benefit of the doubt. Yes, got a big game against the Cavs, 100%. I love watching Saw movies whenever. Yeah, I feel that. Christian. Funny thing is it's so funny how many people reading these comments, how many people are trolling and how many people are buying into the troll. Not just you, Christian. There's I'm not going to call it out because it's just, but it's so funny seeing how many someone in particular is just falling for it and eating it up. But it's funny. Tyler, the AR hater. Let's see. No, I won't say anything. I'll leave it alone. Just remember, Van will be back. Hopefully, I don't know if he will. Right? Like, I hope he is. But they keep saying, like, he was supposed to be back to start the season. That was 31 games ago. Right? Like, so, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Man. We shouldn't be trying to trade Max. We should be looking to replace him in the starting lineup and bring him off the bench. Agreed. I like Max. He has been doing fantastic in the starting unit. Don't get me wrong. But he's 21 years old and inexperienced. And I would prefer somebody that you can trust more, particularly come playoff time. It's very possible that Max could be great and be fine. It's why I've said, go get like a Bruce Brown or, a Malcolm Brogdon or something like that. So now Reaves can go to the natural 2. You got that big physical point of attack guard, right? Now Max Christie can be your 2 off the bench, right? If you end up trading Gabe Vincent, go bring in, a Dennis Smith Jr. or a Markelle Fultz or something like that. You just need somebody to kind of fill in spots, right? Boom. Then you got Max Christie at the 2, Dalton Connect at the 3, hopefully Christian Wood at the 4, and then hopefully you've gotten a backup center in like a Day'Ron Sharpe or something like that. Lakers will be good. I hope so. I really do. I hope he gets right. It sucks that Bruce Brown isn't healthy. But the thing is, like, he'll be back. Like, Lakers got to wait and see first because there's a lot of guys that get hurt and then come back from surgery and then get hurt like a week or 2 later. Lakers need to see Bruce Brown play, but he's not a guy that has an injury history, right? He's a guy that has been healthy and reliable. So I'm not really worried about it. I wouldn't trade for him right like today. Like, let's say Lakers could, they're like, hey, we'll give you Bruce Brown for, unless it was like a second where it's like, maybe we'll take the chance. I just don't think you trade what you'd have to give up to go get Bruce Brown right now. But if he comes back, in 2 weeks or whatever, and then, you let him play between now and the trade deadline and he looks great, I think you go get him personally. Hell yeah, that's a sweet baby. Yes, I love it. I love to see it. Andrew, coming out $2 super chat. Thank you so much. AR pick and roll is too good. Zach can't run the pick and roll. Andrew. You're making it tough. You're making it tough. But yeah, because Zach can't run the pick and roll. I'll just leave it at the laugh. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Let's see. Sorry. The comment makes me laugh. I still need a couple trades. Agreed. 100%. No game minutes, no problem. Well, yeah, he got hurt, which hopefully it's not something major. Really? It's been that long? Wow. Interesting. Yeah, dude, Dorian Finn, that's tough. He's him. Stop hating. Look, Austin Reaves is great, but he's got to be that regularly. That's my thing. Go get Valanciunas tonight. I wouldn't hate it. No one's off the menu until he's off the menu, right? Deals fall through all the time. I mean, we've gotten reports where people are like, oh, this guy, was, being finalized, stuff like that. And then next thing you know, it falls through. So AR had a very good game today. Very good game. Which is why, I mean, look, Jeremy Grant, Kyle Kuzma, guys like that. But that's why I think you need to go just pivot, go get that guard, go get that center. Ideally sooner rather than later. And then you figure it out from there. Reaves is fool's gold. I don't think Reaves is, I wouldn't call him fool's gold. Like I said, I think Reaves is a good player, right? But I think that he's not your third best player on a championship team unless you have the right pieces around him. But I do think, I think he's a good player. I've always maintained he's a good player. Things are coming along. Yes. Realistic 3 and D's are Bruce Brown, Dorian Finney-Smith, Cam Johnson. That's pretty much it. Maybe Io. Let's see. Should Lakers invest in a better strength and conditioning coach over the last couple of years? So many injuries. So they did. They have. And you've seen guys be a lot more healthier. Got to remember, Christian Wood and Jared Vanderbilt was carried over from last season. Lakers redid their entire strength, conditioning, and health department. The guy that's running it, development and health and safety, was the head of Olympic basketball and did track and field and stuff like that. So Lakers got a very good health department now. And you're seeing guys have been healthier thus far. So hopefully that continues. Yeah, Detroit. Thank you. Yes, thank you, Victor. I still want Dame right now. I mean, I would, again, not a guy I would hate to have, but personally, let him stay where he's at. Reaves was the second best guy past 2 games. Yeah, I mean, look, guys can be good, play above for 2 games, but that doesn't mean that he's the second best guy on, again, second best guy on a contender and second best guy on 2 random wins in an 82 game season are not the same thing, right? Austin Reaves being your third best player during an 82 game season is one thing. Him being your third best player in the playoffs and winning a championship are very different. Are you trying to win a championship or are you trying to beat Sacramento? Sure, he was the second best player against Sacramento. Nice, right? But again, that's not the same thing as there's a lot of guys that are second best players that put up stats. That doesn't mean that you want them as that position if you're trying to win anything. Lauri Markkanen is like a 20 and 10 guy. Would you want him to be your second best guy? No, right? Again, there's a lot of guys. Andrew Wiggins, right? Like, do you want him to be your second best guy? No. There's a lot of guys that have second guys on any given nights. Do you have a cold? No, I have I wouldn't say cold. I feel fine. Got a little sniffle, but outside of that, pretty good. Thank you, though. Let's see, 18-13 record for the first time. Head coach is somewhat impressive. I think JJ Redick has been great, especially the circumstances. Every time I see Vando and Wood on the bench when I throw the remote, I feel that. Let's see. Yeah, exactly. They're not better without LeBron. Let's see. Not a Laker fan, but JJ has this team looking better than him, even with the hurt roster. Agreed. JJ Redick is the better coach. I've seen people be like, oh, there's a million differences. JJ Redick is he's been very good as a head coach. Has he been perfect? No. Are there things that he needs to continue to work on and grow and develop in? Of course. But he has been very good. Very good. JJ Redick clears without a doubt. D'Lo for Vucevic. I don't hate it. I wasn't super big on it in the beginning. I'm still not. I don't like the idea of LeBron having to play the three full time. I don't mind LeBron playing the three in spots, but him having to play the three full time, my concern is he either gets hurt or he's so worn down by the time you get to the playoffs that the Lakers are in trouble. And he's already dealing with a foot injury. So, in all honesty, if you're being honest, Vucevic is probably the best player realistically that the Lakers could get for cheap, right? Because they want multiple seconds. So you could get him for 2 seconds, even 3 seconds, let's say. So D'Lo and, Maxwell Lewis or something like that for Vucevic. Boom, get it done 2 or 3 seconds, and let's go. Then go get a Bruce Brown, and I think you're in good shape, right? Because you go assuming Bruce Brown is healthy and he looks good, right? But get Vu now, wait and see Bruce Brown. If not, maybe take the chance on a Brogdon or something like that. But get that physical, big, sizable point of attack guard, Austin Reaves, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Nikola Vucevic, I think would make this team a contender. If LeBron isn't healthy, you're not winning anything anyway. And my biggest concern is, do you really want LeBron to play the three full time? Now, there are ways to kind of mask it, right? The problem with Vucevic is defensively, he's not great as that rim protector. If you can funnel guys to him, he can clean it up, right? But the idea is Anthony Davis as the weak side help, right? Him on the blind side, being able to kind of mask Vucevic's faults. And then especially if you can get that kind of defender out on the perimeter, right? Now the Lakers would be really good. To be really good shape. Got 2 big physical center or 7-footers. Anthony Davis 6'11", whatever. But you get the point, right? The problem is again, LeBron out on the perimeter and everything that would be responsible for him at the three. The way to kind of mask it would be you have Anthony Davis be on the strong side and LeBron be on the weak side. But now you're really counting on Vucevic to clean up. And that's my concern, right? So it would be a bit of a juggling act is my problem. Yeah, exactly. Facts. Can't beat them, join them. Yeah, they are awful defensively. Don't disrespect the code. Yeah, he's the perfect fit for them. Yeah, Memphis. If Memphis gets him, it's going to be huge for them. Huge. Let's see. Sorry, trying to find something. Me. Only way we can win a chip is if Boston gets injured. Doesn't matter if we make it out the West. I disagree. Boston's beatable. My problem is they just shoot so many threes. It's crazy, right? So they're kind of playing the laws of average, right? But also last year they weren't tested. Like, and that was my big thing. Like, what does Boston look like tested? Boston's problem the last like 6 years is as soon as they get any type of adversity or get contested, they just collapse, right? Like the mental toughness is the concern. And they never faced that all season, right? Like when Miami played them in the first round, I was like, yes, we're finally going to see it. But then Jimmy was hurt. And it's like, man, they're just going to run through them. And so I want to know, like, and again, I'm not saying that Boston wouldn't figure it out and run through everybody. It's very possible. But Boston is the literal definition of live by the three, die by the three. If they start struggling to shoot the basketball, they'll shoot them. They've done it before. I mean, they've lost 30-point leads because they literally shut themselves out of a game. It's just, can you get them to do that 4 times? Yeah. Dorian Finney-Smith, Memphis is going to be, it's going to be tough. And they'll still have depth, and they'll be pretty good. 18-13 doesn't sound too bad at all. I'm not worried about Memphis, but Memphis is going to be good, man. Memphis is already good. They'll be better with Dorian Finney-Smith. They'll be able to match up with everybody in the league, right? I still think that there's concerns with them, but they'll be tough. Let's see. Kennard is expected to go out in that trade, supposedly, but they would still have Aldama and they would still have Brandon Clark and they'd still have Marcus Smart. Like, they'd be tough. The question is, do they trade Marcus Smart now? Facts. 21-13. All I'm saying after this, I ain't putting Reaves up for Fox. He can't make a simple pass. Who, Fox? De'Aaron Fox had like 12 assists with 3 less turnovers. He still was really good. De'Aaron Fox is the better playmaker. He's a better player. He had 12 assists to Reaves' 16 and still had more points, even with a bad game. Like, you trade Austin Reaves for De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox had what? Yeah, he had 12 assists and 3 turnovers. Austin Reaves had 16 with 5. He also had 4 steals, a block, and still dropped 29 points. And had the same 5 rebounds to 6. No one's asked. I'm not saying he has to give 25 and 5 every game. I'm talking about like a consistent range, right? Like it's more about the efficiency than the point total. I'm not saying he has to go give you 25 and 5 every single night. But the point is, like, it's one thing to have like 7-8 games where you're really good and then like 2 or 3 where you're bad. But it's like 3 or 4 games where Austin Reaves is him. And then it's like 4 or 5 games where he's terrible, right? It's the influx. There is no middle with Austin Reaves. He's either really good and he's him and he looks great, or he's inefficient and struggles, right? Like, that's the difference. 100%. If you can grab Fox, you grab Fox. No question. Whatever you have to give up, you give up to go get Fox. Let's see. Sorry, trying to find something to me. Let's see. I've watched your show when you had 3K subs. You've hyped AR more than Trevor at Lakers Nation, and you hyped Max more too when they were rookies. Don't know why you have so many haters. That's what I'm saying. Like, people act like I've just like hated Austin Reaves my entire career. Thank you, May. Somebody that's been here from the beginning. I literally was one of those people that, like, even when people were like, Austin Reaves is bad, I was arguing and justifying, and like I was like as high on Austin Reaves as you could possibly be. And eventually you realize, like, okay, like how long, at some point it becomes like, okay, you're just being biased, right? Like there's no common ground. And I like to think of myself as, obviously I have my biases. I have my moments where the Laker fan bleeds out, but we had a half season sample size, and now we've had a season and a half sample size, and Austin Reaves has been the same guy for the last season and a half. And then we got excuses that, oh, it was just tired legs. He was exhausted, blah, blah, because the Olympics. Okay. I even said in the offseason, all right, I will give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's say he's right. Okay. Bad moment. Sure. I'm with it. But then it was like, okay, he did the same thing in preseason. Everyone's like, oh, it's just preseason. Tyler, you're overreacting. It's just preseason. And I was like, well, he did this in the regular season last year, all last year. He did it in the playoffs, and now he's doing it in the preseason. But okay, you're right. It's the preseason. And then everybody was like, so then it was like 5 games in. Okay, still doing it. Everyone's like, oh, it's only the first 5 games. Okay, well then 10 games in, 20 games. Now we're 30 games in, and it's been the same thing. Nothing's changed. It's like, at what point do we just be honest? He's a role player. He's a good role player. He's a very good role player. But that's all he is. He's not a star. He's not a superstar. He's not this like, untouchable player. He's a very good role player. But thank you, May. I appreciate that. AD put it back on Sabonis CFX. Mike Brown wasn't out there. Dude, it's not Mike Brown. It's the organization. But no, I'm not worried about his slump. Put him with Braun and AD, and I think he wakes up yet. De'Aaron Fox just looks checked out too in Sacramento. Like, even Sacramento fans have been talking about that. So let's see. This is my problem. I don't mind people being critical, but don't just lie and make stuff up. I have always maintained. I literally talked about this last live stream. Point to me where I've said trade Austin Reaves. I have said I wouldn't trade Austin Reaves for Zach LaVine because you don't have to. I've always said I wouldn't trade Austin Reaves for Dorian Finney-Smith or that. I said DeJounte Murray because DeJounte Murray is the better player. Again, don't just lie. Don't just make stuff up, right? Like, there's a lot of things that you could criticize me for, but you don't need to like make stuff up, right? I've always maintained. Andrew even was yelling at me one of these live streams because I was like, you do not trade Austin Reaves for Zach LaVine. So no, you're wrong. Again, if you're going to criticize me, at least be honest. At least don't make stuff up, right? Like, there's plenty of things that you could find that can criticize me for. We need a playoff sweep, but this is a good start. Yeah, agreed. Let's see. If this is, sorry, trying to find something to me. Give me a sec. Oh, just got a super chat. This one. Zach can't run the pick and roll. Reaves can, agreed. Zach LaVine can definitely run the pick and roll. But Austin Reaves, yes, he can run the pick and roll. Austin Reaves is fine in that role, but he's not a point guard. They need to actually get a point guard. Without a doubt, they need to actually get a point guard. But Zach LaVine can most definitely run the pick and roll. He runs the pick and roll all the time with Vu. But yes. Appreciate you, Andrew. Give us Houston in the first round of EFX. Lakers probably run through Houston. Let's see. We only need a legit guard and a backup big. If our young unit keeps improving, we have the talent in-house. Also, wouldn't trade Rui for Kuz. Rui is more efficient and plays better D than Kuz. He doesn't play better D, though. That's the problem. Like, Kuz is a better natural 3. It's just more athletic and moves laterally. Rui's the better offensive player. So it's like, what would be the trade-off for you, right? To me, it's not about getting just Kuz. Like, I wouldn't swap Rui for Kuz. I agree with you 100%. But to me, it's more of like, if you get like a Rui, Valanciunas, and Malcolm Brogdon, because now you solved your point guard position. You got a more versatile, a more natural 3, probably the better way to put it, on top of, your backup center. Also, Kyle Kuzma had his best efficiency with the Lakers alongside LeBron James and Anthony Davis. So to me, it's kind of like, it's more of the package. Like, I wouldn't swap Rui for Kuz, right? But I would do if you could get if you could solve everything in one swoop, I would, if that makes sense. But Dustin, coming out $2 super chat. Would you prefer a Bruce Brown or a Thibault? Bruce Brown all day. I don't mind Thibault. Like, Thibault would be nice as like a reserve, right? But Bruce Brown as like your defensive point of attack. Bruce Brown's just a better offensive player. He's a guy that he would fit seamlessly, right? Because he's got good size, can defend essentially 1 through 3, good physicality, everything that you need at that guard position. But on top of that, he's also a guy that can be that backdoor cutter, be that, hard, sturdy screen setter that can also operate and run, the pick and roll, be that initiator, be the things that we need. Bruce Brown is ideal. Like, Bruce Brown is basically a bigger, what we want Gabe Vincent to be. But he has the experience. We know he shows up in the playoffs. Like, he is exactly what this team needs. Bruce Brown healthy is probably the best option at that spot for the Lakers. Problem is that he hasn't played all season, and you need to wait to see him play before you make that commitment. Unless you can get him for essentially nothing, right? If you can get him for like a second, then sure, get him for a second. But right now, to go and trade 3-4 seconds to go get Bruce Brown, you can't do it right now. You got to wait. You got to wait till he comes back. I know people are worried. I've seen a lot of comments from people that are like, but he hasn't played all season. He doesn't have a history of being injury prone or injury issues. And this injury isn't something that's so significant. It's not like Jared Vanderbilt with his feet, where we're like, like this could be, he might not ever be the same type thing. Bruce Brown, I do expect to come back, be healthy, and be fine. But you never know, right? So if you're the Lakers, you have to be patient. You have to wait to see. So, let's see. That first season, yes, he did. Again, you can look it up. Google exists. He shot 28% from 3-point range. He was a very big disappointment in that most recent run. Let's see. A game where Austin Reaves gets 16 assists. Again, watch the games. Look stuff. Pay attention. Don't just box score watch. AR is fine. Just move D'Lo since he's no longer a starter. Yeah, you got to get off of D'Lo. 100%. Yes, Reaves, that's my problem. Reaves is inconsistent. He's a great player, but he's inconsistent. There's nothing wrong with being honest about him being inconsistent. Like, no one seems to want to admit that he's inconsistent, but no one can prove to me otherwise. Literally, Austin Reaves in that Detroit game was so bad. All these people, all these little like Reaves like crawling out of their caves now, all these people, where were you when Austin Reaves cost the Lakers the game? None of you were in the live stream. No, I know, because I called it out and I said that I was going to call it out, right? Like, it's just, again, he's inconsistent. Prove me wrong. He's inconsistent. Like, it's a reality. Again, it's there. It's there. It's not, I'm not making it up. It's there. You can watch it. Like, but no one ever says like, oh, you're wrong. He's not inconsistent, right? Notice what these people that defend Austin Reaves, notice what they say, right? It's never like, they never have a counterpoint. They never have a counter argument. It's just always their opinions. Or if I'm like, he's inconsistent, but he had a great game today. He had 16 assists. Like, okay, he had a great game today. Like, lots of guys have had great games, right? There's a big difference between a guy having a great game and a guy being inconsistent. He's inconsistent. He has great games all the time, but that doesn't mean he's not not inconsistent. Again, it's about the things that these people say. That's funny. Let's see. Yeah, exactly. Can't defend when he's not scoring. He's a liability out there. 2 good games give these people amnesia about even D'Lo effects. Reaves is inconsistent, but so are most players. That's what makes star players who they are. So you agree that he's not a star. So you agree with me. So you're saying that I'm right is the point. So you admit he's inconsistent and you're saying he's not a star. That's my whole argument. That's literally everything that I talk about. He's a very good player, but he's a role player. He's not a star and he's inconsistent. Marco, you literally just proved my point. Everything that I've always said, you just highlighted. He's inconsistent and he's not a star. Right? Okay, thank you. I don't understand what, yet you keep talking about me being a hater of Reaves. You just agreed with me. It makes no sense. Make it make sense. Literally, this is literally, your comment here is my entire argument. He's inconsistent and he's not a star. Yet, anytime I talk about Austin Reaves, you tell me I'm a hater. So you must be a hater too. Welcome to the hater club, Marco. Oh my God. It's so funny. Like I said, you got to listen to what these people say. Let's see. Yes, trade him for Fox immediately. If you can trade him for Fox, you trade him for Fox. And it's not because he's underappreciated. It's because people are a reality and he's not better than Fox. Let's see. Sorry, trying to find something. Let's see if they perform like this against Cleveland. Hopefully LeBron doesn't play so we can see against a contender. I hope LeBron plays. All right. I don't think we beat Cleveland without, never say never, right? Like, look, Lakers beat Boston last season without LeBron and Anthony Davis. So, anybody can beat anybody on any given night. However, LeBron needs to play. If we're going to beat them, he needs to play. Let's see. One guy plays point guard, one guy doesn't. Again, it's not a good argument. When one guy's playing the point guard position and one guy is not a point guard. All right. Keep Reaves as 6-man and go find yourself a starting point guard. No, I just think you move Reaves to the 2. Let him play his more natural position, and he'll be fine. He'll be better. He runs okay. I would love Levine when LeBron leaves, but now, AR, Cam, and Max work fine. Levine makes more sense now than he does after LeBron, right? Because I don't think Levine and AD are the pieces that win you a championship. I think LeBron, Levine, and AD definitely win you a championship, right? Because now LeBron gets to kind of play the magic role, kind of allows him to take over and play games. Now, if Levine, because my problem is I still don't fully buy Anthony Davis as your 1A, right? And Levine, I think, is best as your third guy. I think if he's your third guy, you are a legit contending basketball team. But Anthony Davis, I still don't fully buy him being the guy. So when LeBron leaves, is Anthony Davis finally going to be the guy? Right? Like, does he kind of look at it as, okay, I don't have LeBron to fall back on anymore. Does he step up and be that guy? Right? That's my question. Let's see. He's definitely not another Malik Monk. Definitely not another Malik Monk. When you have 2 stars, we need 3 role players, and 3-star model does not work in the NBA anymore. It 100% does, right? The thing that people point to as like, oh, see, the 3-star model doesn't work anymore is Phoenix, but it never was going to work, right? Even if this new CBA didn't exist, that wasn't going to work. It didn't work last year, and the new CBA wasn't a thing, right? The problem is your 3 stars have to make sense. Think of every big 3 in the history of the league. All of them. They all made sense. The ones that were successful, at least, all made sense, right? Obviously, Russ, LeBron, and AD didn't work because it didn't make sense, right? Bradley Beal and Devin Booker are essentially the same player. Whichever one you think is better, they're the same player. They want to do the same things. Neither is big enough to properly play the 3, and neither is good enough as a playmaker to run the point. They tried it. They tried it last year, and it didn't work. Terrible, right? That's why they went and got Tyus Jones, right? Kevin Durant is the best out of the 3 of them, but he wants to do a lot of the same stuff that Devin Booker and Bradley Beal want to do. It doesn't fit. Look at KG, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce. All 3 guys played different positions, did different things, had different skill sets, right? Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, LeBron James. All 3 did different things, played different positions, different skill sets, right? LeBron, Kyrie, and Kevin Love. Same thing, right? Like, the 3 components have to make sense. You can't just throw any 3 together and expect it to work. The components have to work, right? Kyrie, people wanted Kyrie. So does Kyrie not work? No, it does, because Kyrie is exactly what the Lakers need, right? He has a different skill set and does different things than LeBron and Anthony Davis, right? LaVine is another guy, does different things than LeBron and Anthony Davis, right? It makes sense if you have the right components, but if it's just 3 random guys, then no, it doesn't make sense. And you see that with a team, like the Suns. No perimeter players on the Lakers is shooting a higher percentage than Zach. Yes. Fox and if you get Fox and LaVine, yeah. Fox for the future, yeah. I think him and Anthony Davis would be terrifying. Again, Zach LaVine, if Anthony Davis can be your guy, then yes, LaVine makes all the sense in the world. I don't think you'd be able to get both of them. Zach LaVine is a plus 22 in win shares. They're not bad because of him. They're bad because of a roster, right? Why was Anthony Davis is any good? Why was the Pelicans bad for so many years, right? Like, how come they couldn't beat anybody? How come they couldn't do anything, right? Like, again, it's such a silly argument, right? Like, let's see. Let's see. What do you think Boston is a super team? Yeah, I see what Andrew's doing. 100% I see what Andrew's doing. So I keep laughing, even to the super chat. And all these people are buying into it. It's funny. Sorry, trying to find something to me. Anthony Davis was fantastic this game. Yes, 100%. So any good players on a mid team isn't good. Am I getting? Oh, there's somebody else. AR and DK are untouchable. I don't care. I wouldn't say untouchable. If you could trade them for Giannis right now, you're telling me you want to trade them for Giannis? Then they're not untouchable. Love the shirt. Oh, come on. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, and it's got like little on the back. It's got the whole. I don't know if you can see it. But yeah, I like it. Cool shirt. Bro, I'm convinced of bad luck. I didn't watch Laker games, and they only lost one game. It might be me, Chad. Let's see. Like I said, I don't think anybody is like untouchable. Again, if you could trade LeBron for Luka right now, would you trade him? Yeah, of course you would. But again, for Lakers standards, sure. He wouldn't be there to be a pick and roll operator. I don't know why everyone's talking about Zach LaVine in the pick and roll. Like no one should be asking him to play. You're not looking for him to play the pick and roll. You're looking for him to do what he does best. Let's see. Some Laker fans are nuts. Why would you not want to go get a star? We've seen what depth does. One playoff win against Denver EFX. And look at all the teams that have won last year's, like Boston, Denver, right? These teams weren't deep. They were like 6 guys deep. Boston was running Christian Brown as their 7th guy, and he didn't make a 3 until like the finals. Let's see. Sorry, trying to find something to me. LaVine won't automatically be the same as he was in Chicago if he gets traded to LA. We keep forgetting that, for example, when we signed Wood and also did that horrifying Westbrook trade. Well, Christian Wood also wasn't used the way that he has been everywhere else. Darvin Ham used Christian Wood as if he was a 3-and-D wing rather than a power forward. Secondly, Zach LaVine would be better with the Lakers. Right now, he has to do everything for Chicago, right? Like, he has to score, he has to play make, he has to rebound, he has to defend, he has to he would have literally a completely different, like the attention he would have taken from him, right? Like teams double team, trap him, do everything. Like he has to work harder, right? Him slot alongside LeBron James, Anthony Davis, he wouldn't have to work as hard, right? I mean, look at what guys get alongside LeBron James, like wide open looks. Zach LaVine is one of the best catch shoot 3-point shooters in the league. Lakers would be looking for him not to be the playmaker, not to do all, like literally just do what you do best and score the basketball. Like Zach LaVine in the 3rd man role would probably give you 22 to 25 a game on just insane efficiency, but it'd be the impact because of the athleticism, the versatility, right? The rebounding, the on occasion playmaking, right? Like Tyler is the as long as he's happy type of guy. Exactly what I want to like. It doesn't affect me. It doesn't bother me, right? Like if it was something that personally affected me, I'd probably have a different opinion. I don't really care, right? Like the guy is going to be fine either way. The guy's going to be worth $500 million, even if she takes him for half. Like it just no good luck to him. Like I said, it's either going to end one way or the other, right? It's either A, it's going to work out and he's right, or B, he's going to learn a very, very hard way. But yeah, like I said, I mean, good for him. Let's see. People are going to keep saying we ain't doing no trades or we not doing anything to win. I just think that some malarkey, man, I think we'll win with the right pieces. Yes. I still think that they'll make a trade. I'm curious to see. I'm curious to see how that works. Like what they end up getting and stuff like that. Tyler is working his best to comment with no comments about Hunter. Because again, it's just nonsense. Like to me, it's just nothing. Like like I said, I don't know why people are so invested in other people's lives. That's just not me. Like I care less. Like like obviously I know what's going on with Travis Hunter, not because I'm looking into it. Like I'm not rating the guy. Like, I care less, but I know because it's such a big deal right now. Like I know it sucks, right? Like it's either, like I said, it's either one way or the other. I don't care enough to get into people's personal lives. Like I don't care. Like even my friends, like like unless it's something that affects me or they they want my opinion. Like outside that, like if I don't like your girlfriend, like I'm not dating her, you are, right? Like, it's just, that's the thing. Like, I don't know. Like, people are so invested in other people's personal lives. Like, I don't really care. I have enough going on in my life to worry about my life, let alone need to worry about some random people on the internet that I'll never meet, that I'll never have an impact. I don't know. I just don't care. Right? I just want to stay out of the drama, stay out of the noise. Right? Like, I don't know. I've had people ask me, like, tell me I should do a drama channel. Or like, like the YouTube commentary channels. I don't know. I don't know if I want like the headache. It does make money. I've thought about it just for like the money purposes, like because you get big enough, man. Like some of those commentator channels make a ton of money, right? So like, there's the part of me that's like, man, I just give my opinion on like some you know internet drama and make 50 grand a month. Like that'd be pretty nice. Like there's like a part of me that like really wants to do it, but then there's the part of me that's like, I really don't want to deal with it. Right? Like there's a big part of me that's like, I really don't want I don't want the headache of like having to deal with all this like drama and stuff. I don't know. But I've had people be like, oh, like, I don't know. It's one of those things. Like the money's good. I don't know. If I had enough people that were like, I would subscribe, then I would do it. Like, if I have 23,000 subscribers. If like 10,000 were like, I'll go subscribe to that, then I'd be like, all right, bet. Like, just because why not? If I can make the money, sure. I like money more than my personal sanity. Let's see. No reason to ever be an all-star. I mean, look, Austin Reaves, Victor Wembanyama. Victor Wembanyama is making like 13 million. But sorry, I lost my train of thought. Outside, look, Austin Reaves is hands down one of the best contract values in the league. I fully agree with that, right? Like, if he was making like 30 million, we'd be having a very different conversation. I just don't think he should be untouchable for the right. I don't think anybody is untouchable. There's only like 3 guys in the league that are truly untouchable. They call in Reeves second star. Of course they are. All right. I'm gonna do a handful of more questions. Skate on out of here. Let's see. They wanted to keep DeRozan away from the Lakers. Yeah, and now look what happened. Now look. Tyler, make a drama channel. maybe I'll do like a community post poll. And if I get enough people that are like, I'll subscribe, then maybe I'll make a channel. Because like I said, the money's in it. The money's there. But it's just, I just don't want to like, you got to be careful because like you see those channels like getting sued all the time and stuff for talking about certain things. So I don't know. I'd probably pick and choose what I talk about. But hey, Tyler, what's your favorite realistic trade? The more that things are developing and kind of, like with Dorian Finney-Smith news, stuff like that, probably Bruce Brown and Nikola Vucevic. I still like, I mentioned earlier, I don't know if you were here earlier when I was talking about it, but I just like, I'm like really like, my concern is playing LeBron at the 3 full time. In spots, sure. LeBron at the 3 full time, I think potentially could be a problem. But you might not be able to get anything better, right? Like Vucevic is, you're talking about a legit 20 and 10 guy that can make plays and you can run out of the post. I'm coming around to it more than I did originally. If you asked me a month ago, I was like, I think I even talked about it, like where I was like, whatever you do, stay as far away from Vucevic as possible. But now it's kind of like, I'm leaning more towards the idea because of how things are developing, right? The way things are kind of shaping up, I'm kind of like, no, it might not be the worst. Bruce Brown, if he shows that he's healthy, got to wait till he's healthy. Bruce Brown and Nikola Vucevic, and then go get like Cody Martin, and let's go win a championship. Exactly. Lakers have won 1 out of 9 games against Denver. 1 out of 9 games against Denver. Let's see. That's the argument about guys not being a winner drives me crazy because there are literally in the league, there are like 5 real winners. Anthony Davis wasn't a winner. Like you said, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love weren't a winner. Chris Bosh wasn't a winner, right? Like Ray Allen and Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett weren't winners. Pau Gasol wasn't a winner, right? Like the list goes on and on of guys, right? Like there are like Jokic, LeBron, Steph, and Giannis are like really like that. Like that's basically it, right? Like who else are winners? Like Luka still isn't a winner. I mean, he's gone to the finals, but that doesn't make you a winner, right? Like you didn't win, right? Like again, there's very few guys in this league that are truly winner. Like they are the winners. Like I get so many people that are like, but this guy's not a winner. That guy's not a winner. No one is. Who's a winner? You know what makes winner is the right situation, the right environment, and the right component of pieces, right? You put the right pieces together, they become winners. Anthony Davis goes and plays alongside LeBron James, immediately becomes a winner instantly. He wasn't winning anything. The guy couldn't even get out of the first round, right? Like, again, like KCP I've talked about, right? Wasn't a winner. Like there's only like 5 guys in the league that are truly winners, right? That actually lead a team to a championship. They should get Fox. His style would work well with this team, 100%. Why are we comparing Reaves to the first option team? Yeah, 100%. What are we doing? Yeah. Exactly. All right, I'm going to do like 2 more here and then skate out of here. Let's see. Sorry, trying to find something to me. I'm assuming you don't think Cam Johnson is realistic. Can you explain? Yes, you have teams like the Thunder, you have teams like the Warriors, several teams that are interested in Cam Johnson that can all just outbid us. I mean, the Thunder could give up 5 firsts just to make sure he doesn't go to the Lakers and still have the most assets in the league. I just think the Lakers would have to overpay for Cam Johnson, and the Lakers need more than just Cam Johnson, right? If we were a Cam Johnson away from winning a championship, give up whatever you have to give up to go get Cam Johnson. But you need Cam Johnson plus, right? So realistically, I just think that the Lakers, it's just you're better off focusing and pivoting into more realistic options rather than wasting your time with something that you're probably not going to ever get, right? Like there's too much competition for Cam Johnson, and the Lakers just don't have the assets to compete. And we're not just a Cam Johnson away from being a champion, right? So let these other teams overpay for Cam Johnson, and you go pick up the other pieces. Go get those other guys that all the other teams aren't thinking about right now because they're all too focused on Cam Johnson, and they don't want to run the risk of losing Cam Johnson. Yeah, Memphis is about to overpay for Dorian Finney-Smith, but I do think it's a really good deal. Let's see. You're also missing a ton of context. Teams' entire defensive schemes are built on slowing Zach LaVine down because he's their best player. Teams aren't focusing their entire defensive schemes to slow down Austin Reaves. They have to worry about LeBron James and Anthony Davis, right? Zach LaVine on the Lakers now doesn't have that problem. Teams aren't focused entirely on trying to slow down Zach LaVine. Yes, team defenses want to slow down Austin Reaves, but he's not the primary focus. Zach LaVine on Chicago is the primary focus, right? Zach LaVine going from your first option to your third option is a completely different Zach LaVine because he does the guys that are defending him are going to be different. The defensive schemes are going to be different, right? The role is going to be, he'll be more effective, more efficient. The fact that he's doing what he's doing now, Zach LaVine in the Austin Reaves role makes the Lakers better, without a doubt. He's just more athletic. He's more versatile. He's a better offensive scorer. He would be our best natural scorer. Again, that doesn't mean best player, but just pure scorer. Zach LaVine is the best scorer the Lakers would have, right? Like it's the closest thing LeBron would have had since Kyrie, right? And we saw how well that worked. Now imagine that with Kyrie, LaVine's not Kyrie, but Kevin Love wasn't Anthony Davis. So you kind of have that balance, right? The context that people miss is like people compare a number one option to a third option and going like, oh, this guy, because the entire defensive scheme is to slow him down, right? To make sure he doesn't go drop 50 on them, right? Like Zach LaVine or Austin Reaves is, again, he's the third, fourth issue on that team. Completely different. Completely different. Let's see what else. Erman coming out the $5 or $2. Thank you so much. I like that we are at the top of our division. I love that too. And hopefully we can squeeze into that top 4 seed and be in a very good shape. Very good shape. I really like how the season's playing out. I think the Lakers are very good. Again, we still need trades. Still got to get stuff done. But we're in the thick of it, which is what I like to see. Right? That's all you can ask for. Hopefully, Rob Pelinka can get some stuff done so we can kind of move more into that contention area. Look, I've always maintained, I think the Lakers are good, not great. I don't think that the thing is, there's not a powerhouse in the league. There's not like Kevin Durant on the Warriors. Like everyone is even Boston is beatable. It's just, can you beat them 4 times is the question, right? But I like where the Lakers are. I think they're in a good spot, generally. All right, let's do like one more, and then I'm gonna get out of here. Fox would have come to LA, confirmed he tacked the team before game even ended. Yeah. Gabe Vincent got elbowed in like the rib area and supposedly has like what was it, strained oblique or something like that. Sacramento might not have a choice, right? Like, look, like I've maintained, the only way the Lakers lands De'Aaron Fox is if De'Aaron Fox pulls an Anthony Davis. Any other scenario, the Lakers will not land De'Aaron Fox. Literally, the Lakers De'Aaron Fox has to pull an Anthony Davis. If he pulls an Anthony Davis, then I think he'll be a Laker. But outside of that, he won't, because he'll be a free agent after next season. So if he goes like, hey, you like what Anthony Davis said, you could trade for me, but I'm leaving in the offseason. At that point, like Lakers have all the leverage. You're still going to have to trade. You're still going to have to give a bunch of stuff up like you saw the Lakers did with Anthony Davis. But you get it done and he'll be that. Outside of that, it's not happening. Sorry, trying to find one more to me. Yeah, I'm not worried about the Clippers. They're a good regular season team. I talked about it in the offseason that I thought they'd be a good regular season team, but come playoff time, they're not going to be that good. I wouldn't trade AR for LaVine like I've maintained, because you don't have to. LaVine is the better player, and I've always said, like, if you can trade AR for a better player, you trade him for a better player. Difference is you don't have to, right? Like I've compared it to, like I've talked about, right? Like if you want to buy a car and you can get the car for $10,000, why would you give the person $50,000, right? Like, no, just pay the $10,000, right? Like if you had no choice but to get LaVine by trading AR, then fine, trade AR, right? But You don't. Like, you can get LaVine without having to give up AR, so don't give up AR. Right? Like, that's my reasoning, right? Like, again, you don't overpay just to overpay. Problem is Cam Johnson. There's just the Nets wouldn't trade him to the Lakers right now for what the Lakers can offer, because you have other teams out there that can offer more, and they'll just wait and be patient to see if those teams do. And they know the Lakers probably aren't going anywhere. Yep, they got to be ready. Bruce Brown for D'Lo. I would be all for that. Lakers, like I said, Lakers have to wait to see. They need to make sure that that he's healthy. But as soon as he's healthy, go get him. I don't. Originally, I was like, stay away from John Collins. I wouldn't mind John Collins. However, you have to get Walker Kessler. I wouldn't just take John Collins. He's making too much money. He's not worth the money that he's making. But if you can get a Walker Kessler, I would do that 100%. I don't hate you. Why would I hate you? I don't even know you. Like, why would I hate you? Like, I have no reason to hate you. Like, disagree with me. That's what it's for. I mean, people always think, like, because we disagree that, like, oh, like, I probably can't stand them. Like, I don't care. Like, first off, you're commenting and you're helping the channel. I appreciate it, right? Secondly, at the end of every video, I say, if you agree or disagree with me, let me know. Like, I'm all for conversation. I'm all for going back and forth. Like, it's what it's about. It's what it's fun. Like, that's why we're in the sports market, right? Like, it's what we're doing. We're here to have conversation and disagree and have debates and stuff. Like, nah, no reason to hate you, man. Like, I appreciate you genuinely. Like, I'm very thankful for you. Dude, you comment on like every video. Like, thank you. Right? Like, I know you don't agree with some of the things I say, but seriously, even like, what is it? Just this guy or whatever. Dude, that guy like trolls every video that I have. But I'm not saying you're trolling, Marco. I know you genuinely feel the way you feel, but like, even like the trolls, like, I appreciate them, right? Like, the fact that people even want to listen to me is amazing. The fact that I have 23, almost 24,000 people that watch videos and, subscribe to the channel and comment and stuff. Like, I'm blessed. Like, why would I hate you? Again, I don't know you. I have no reason to hate you. I don't hate anybody. There's too much hate in the world. Don't hate anybody. Like, even people I can't stand, I don't hate them. Like, it takes too much energy to hate. Like, trust me, I don't. Last people I would hate is the people that are supporting. Like, it's silly. I appreciate you, Marco. Genuinely, seriously, thank you. I appreciate you. But on that emotional standoff, I'm gonna wrap this up here. Been going for almost 2 hours. I gotta get videos made, stuff like that. It's gonna be a long night. But it's all right. I appreciate it. Thank you all so much, seriously, for hanging out with me and having these conversations. On your way out, please take a quick second. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for me if you haven't yet. And then, everyone that gave me super chats, thank you so much. Seriously, I really do appreciate it. It really does help me out a ton. And I will see you all in the next one.